Hi friends, my name is Anna, and in today's video I am going to show you how to create realistic lavender flowers out of cotton yarn. It is crochet combined with very easy embroidery. This way you can decorate the edges of your crochet, and I also created this vine for hair. Today's tutorial is very simple and you only need to make single crochet stitches and chain stitches and have a bit of hand sewing skills. I love creating small realistic flowers, leaves and mushrooms, and right now I'm wearing another one of my creations. This is the strawberry vines crochet, which features triple strawberry leaves, tiny berries and small flowers. And I hope you don't mind if I show you a couple of my other projects before we move on to the tutorial, just to inspire you a little bit for your own creativity. The first one is a wildflower crown with dandelions and small other flowers, as well as two vines that can be braided into the hair or simply left to hang loose. All of my flower crowns are made using the same principle. A composition of flowers is placed on the head and there are two vines on both sides. The next crown is similar to the first one, but of course the key element is mushrooms. I've added a bit of acrylic paint to give the mushrooms some color, since they were crocheted from white yarn. And yes, every single element is hand crocheted. For some reason, this crown reminds me of Alice in Wonderland. I don't know why, I just feel this vibe. And last but not least, this is my most recent work, consisting of rose flowers in pink, red and white. This one is associated with Valentine's Day and love core aesthetic to me. If you would like to crochet any of these crowns, I've left a link in the description to my Shopify, where I've published step-by-step videos for all 4 crowns. Okay, let's get started with lavender flowers. For my projects, I use mercerized cotton yarn. Brand isn't important, but this one is from Etsy. A shop is called Yarn Home. Crochet hook can be from 0.75 to 1.4 millimeters. I'm honestly confused by crochet hook sizes because hooks from different manufacturers can be very different. Just choose the one that feels the most comfortable for you to work with this yarn. Yes, of course, we need scissors and a large needle. Don't know the needle size, but it should be something like this. I begin by making a chain of stitches about 4 centimeters long. This will be the length of the very first lavender flower. We will crochet everything, several flowers and leaves, as one piece, so you don't need to cut the yarn. And I don't tell you the exact number of the chain stitches because it's up to you. You can make the flower a bit longer or shorter. The pattern is the same. So the chain is ready, and now I start crocheting the first row and simply make single crochet stitches into each stitch. And the goal is to create a very simple rectangle. It's probably the easiest thing you can crochet. When the first row is ready, I make one chain stitch, turn the work, and crochet the second row in the same way, using single crochet and inserting the hook into both loops of the previous row. And in total we need to make 3 rows of single crochet. These rectangles will eventually turn into lavender flowers, but it will take some time because at first we crochet everything with green yarn and after that we turn these rectangles into the flowers. So 3 rows of single crochet are ready. Next we make chain stitches until we decide to crochet the next element. And by the way, you can crochet leaves and flowers very close to each other or with some distance between them. It's all up to you. The next element I will show you is a small narrow leaf. It's very simple to crochet and it will take about 10 to 15 stitches from the hook that we have already crocheted. Now make a slip stitch into the second stitch from the hook. This way we make a pointy tip of the leaf. This element is called picot. After that, simply work with single crochet stitches to make the leaf. My leaves are all about 1-2 centimeters long, and this way we are kind of returning to the main vine. When your leaf is ready, you need to crochet a thinner stem. To do this, make 3 or 4 slip stitches. As a result, you should be at this point where you are ready to continue crocheting the vine. The more slip stitches you make right now, the longer will be the stem of your leaf. Great, from this point we continue crocheting the main vine, making chain stitches. We keep making the chain until we want to crochet the next element. It could be either a flower or a leaf. Remember that you should make the chain a little bit longer from the point where the leaf or the flower should start, because you return with the stitches back. I hope this explanation is clear. Please let me know in comments if you understand what I mean. Now let me show you how to crochet the second flower. It's honestly everything the same. You need to make a rectangle of 3 rows of single crochet stitches. So the first row you're making single crochet stitches, returning backwards along the chain. When you see that the rectangle is long enough, you make one chain stitch and turn your work. After that, you crochet the second row. Well, the second row you crochet till the end until there are no more stitches left. And at the end of the row you make one more chain stitch to turn your work. And crochet the third row of single crochet stitches in order to come back to the vine. Great, the second rectangle or the future lavender flower is ready. Now make a couple of slip stitches to come back to the vine. In any unclear situation, just make slip stitches. You know, you can't make any mistakes with them. And by the way, the flowers also have a stem. That's why I slip stitch 2 or 3 more times, the same as we have done with the leaves. Nice, the rectangle is ready. They are not looking like lavender yet, but be patient. Now you need to finish the vine and crochet as many leaves and rectangles as you want. And after that we will start sewing and embroidery. My vines for hair I usually make about half a meter long, and you can see my projects on Instagram and on my Shopify. All the links are in the description. And by the way, about the leaves, sometimes I make them double, so immediately after I finished crocheting one, I make the second one opposite to it. Okay, great, let's start working on the flowers. Basically, the goal is to create a tube shape for each flower. I use the same yarn and a thick needle to hand sew the flowers, and here I'm showing you how you need to connect their edges. Before you start sewing, you need to make a small knot at the end of the yarn. The easiest way is to wrap the yarn around your finger and slip it off. Now insert the needle and connect the edges using very simple sewing stitches. I don't even know what these stitches are called, but I hope the video helps you to understand the process. That's what it should look like. And now insert the needle and wrap the thread 3 times and pull the needle through to make a small knot. Make one more stitch in order to hide the end of the thread inside and cut the end. This is the ready base for lavender flower. Now take purple yarn and it's time for embroidery. Make a knot at the end again. Insert the needle and eventually we will be making knots all the time. So place your needle like this, wrap yarn around it 3 times and pull the needle through. I suppose this is called a French knot in embroidery. And it also looks like a tiny flower. It can happen that your first knots will be tangled, but please stay patient. Maybe you need just a little bit of practice. As you can see, I insert the needle directly under the knot and pull the thread, and after that start making the second flower at some distance from the first one. Obviously, it makes sense to at first cover the top of the base with flowers and then gradually move downwards. And one secret for even more realistic flowers: use different shades of purple. You can arrange the flowers by creating a gradient or simply placing different shades randomly. Maybe I will even add a white shade, not sure yet, but can be beautiful too. I add these lavender flowers to different crochet compositions. Please follow me on Instagram for more crochet inspiration and updates. And as I previously mentioned, you can decorate the edge of your crochet with these flowers. You know, just crochet many rectangles hanging from the edge and do sewing and embroidery after. Or braid these lavender flowers into your hair. Please give me some inspiration in comments. What flower should I crochet next? And please check tutorials on my Shopify.